You guys get the win today. Just what do you think of the game overall?
It seemed like a complete game to me. I mean, the guys played well. They played good defense. The pitching was solid from start to finish, and I thought there were timely hits. It was nice to extend the lead with the home run by Maloney late in the game, and I thought it was a complete game.
Was that your favorite performance of the weekend?
Probably.
3-1 just overall in this series. Just what did you like? What do you see? What do you want to improve upon going into next week against Rhode Island?
It doesn't matter who we play. We just need to improve, and there's things we need to improve upon, and so we're looking forward to this week in practice, that's for sure.
What did you see from Will today on the mound?
He was okay, to be honest. I mean, his first outing as a freshman, and and I'll be critical and say he was just okay. He'll be put up probably for the conference pitcher of the week as a freshman or whatever, but I don't know that he wins or not, but I like this competitiveness. He finished his last inning with 3 strikeouts. He wasn't as good as we've seen him, quite candidly, but obviously he's a special talent. And so when you go out there and, I don't know, he gave up 1 run on a wild pitch, I think is what he gave up all day. So hard to really be too critical of what he did. I thought he pitched well.
Knox gives up some loud contact out of the pen, but faces the minimum in his 2 innings. What'd you like out of his performance?
Yeah, I mean, he gave up a little bit of a hard ground ball in the 5-6 hole, and a couple fly ball outs. I didn't think the contact was, he pitched us to contact. He got in there and he challenged guys. Again, he goes 2 innings, his first outing as a Duck, basically in a live game. Happy for him. Really happy with Santiago. He went out there and he was dominant, and Cole was dominant, obviously.
You're all kind of waiting to see Cole out of the pen this weekend. Do you like him kind of in that 9-hole spot as a closer for you guys, or was that just when the touches came for him?
Well, I mean, dust will settle on how we use all our pieces. He's obviously a talented kid. He's developed really, really well in the last year with Coach Hawk, and obviously he's electric, and that's what we've been seeing in scrimmages is it's really good.
You mentioned yesterday you wanted to see more guys on base in general. I think 6 of 8 leadoff hitters reached today, and 4 of them came around to score. What does that do for your offense when you're able to put up numbers like that?
Well, it can run an offense. I like breaking home run records where we hit 7 homers, but I think 6 of them are solo shots. That's not really an offense. You're just hitting home runs, right? I mean, having an offense is when you do what we did at the beginning of the game where a guy gets on via walk, he steals second, he gets advanced to third by a ground ball, and then he scores on a ground ball. That's having an offense where you score despite not even getting a hit. And so you want a balance, right? That's what we're looking for. We want to play good defense, pitch well, and have a balance offensively to where you're not relying on moving a guy with a sac bunt or something like that. But it's also a part of your game. And this weekend, there were some weaknesses that are clear that we need to tighten up this week in practice when it comes to our offense, and we'll do that.
Toledo threw 3 different pitchers in the first 3 innings. Do you change how you talk to your hitters at all when there's kind of a revolving door on the mound for their approach?
Well, not a lot of information on a lot of guys we saw this weekend. Some of them we knew. Obviously, their starter is an old guy that had tremendous amount of success. He probably was just on a pitch count. That's probably why they took him out after the first. But he had a lot of experience under his belt. The last time that he pitched, he threw an elimination game. He went 8 2/3 to get the win in an elimination game in the conference tournament. And so, he was on a pitch count today, and they were able to go to a couple other guys. I thought they pitched, though, on the weekend. I thought their team, they landed a ton of off-speed pitches for strikes. I even complimented their coach. I thought that they did a nice job with that, and they were really competitive on the mound.
We saw Hurd kind of pull up Gimpy running down to first. Was his replacement in the outfield, was that scheduled for that point, or was he hurt?
No, Hurd's fine.
Maddox takes an up-and-in sinker for a double early in the game. Obviously has the home run later. Just how do you feel like his added weight in the offseason, that strength, has played into his game so far this year?
So far, so good. I mean, he had a good weekend. I think he hit probably, 3 home runs and played a really clean shortstop, and so he started off slow, and he got hot as the weekend went. And as we know, when Maddox gets going, he can be a real force.
Was it nice to see some of his doubles land out there with Luke Walton and the defense he's been playing all weekend?
I'll tell you what, that guy was, he was a heck of a player. The Walton kid is a really tremendous player that they have. He was a dynamic outfielder defensively, and he's their best returning hitter. I mean, he's a special talent.
What do you think of Mason in the leadoff hole. Obviously, he was in there at the end of last year, starts the season in leadoff. Just what do you think of his performance at the leading off today?
Mason's a heck of a player. He's a great talent. He gives you a chance to score right away. If you make a mistake on Mason, he can hurt you, and he can really do some damage. I like having guys early in the lineup that you can score if with one swing of the bat, and so I think he's shown that he can do that.
What have you seen from Berkeley so far through his first 2 games?
Great makeup, tremendous family, great makeup, competitive, gets in there and can hit, and I thought both him and Cohen caught really well this weekend.
Was that solid starting pitching all weekend something you expected in the opening series, or was that a pleasant surprise?
Probably both.
What are you hoping to see from Maloney going forward for the rest of the season?
Just to continue to get better and lead the team. As a shortstop, I think that's a great question. I think as a shortstop, it's a position of leadership, and so what I want to see him do is just develop. He's only a sophomore. He looks like he's a junior the way he plays a lot of times because he's so in control, but that position requires a lot of leadership, and so between him and the other infielders, we've got some really good leaders on the infield, but I want to see him develop that. I think that's a good question, though.